everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So I know it's been a very long time since I posted, so I'm very sorry, and it's been an even longer amount of time since I posted a tutorial, but I'm back today with a tutorial for you guys, so I really hope you enjoy it. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make this really adorable Leia chibi head. Now I made this after the tragic death of Carrie Fisher, and if you know me, you know I love Star Wars, so I had to make this and you guys really wanted to see a tutorial, so I'm bringing you one today. So the first thing you're going to need is a ball of flesh coloured clay. I actually mixed this colour myself. I believe I mixed a Primo colour and a Fimo colour. If I figure out which ones it was, I will leave them down below in the description box. But lots of these companies like Fimo and Primo and Sculpey, they all do skin colour clay already mixed for you. So if you don't want to mix it, then you don't have to. So to get the shape of the chibi head, all I'm doing is just rolling that into a thick log and then pressing it down into an oval shape. I prefer this shape. If you want to do more of a circle, then you can obviously. So once you've got the head shape you like, it's now time to move on to the hair. So here I'm just taking a ball of clay and I'm rolling it out into a thin sheet, and that's what we're going to be using. All the clay that I'm using in this video is ridiculously soft because I didn't have time to fix it, so if you can see me struggling a bit, that is why. If you are having the same problem, I do actually have a video on how to fix soft clay, which you can click on the screen right now to go to if you're having the same problem, but as I said, I didn't really have time for this video and I just wanted to get this out for you guys. So to get that perfect parting at the front of her head, I'm using a cookie cutter. So I'm just cutting out 2 circles of that brown clay and I am just eyeballing the thickness of the sheets. So once you've got your brown circles cut out, it's now time to add them to the head. So I actually give my chibi quite a dramatic parting. It's kind of dorky looking, I think it's quite cute, but if you don't want to do it quite this way, you can obviously put the circles at a slightly different angle. So once those circles are attached, you just basically want to get it as close to that chibi head as possible. So you can use a tool or your fingers for this, you just want to make sure it's properly attached. Once you've got that clay as close to the head as possible, it's now time to cut off all the excess clay. So I'm just taking a blade and gently removing what doesn't need to be there. After you've done that, it might be a little bit jagged, so I'm just using my fingers to round out those edges and make everything nice and smooth. So the next step is to add a face. I haven't showed you me doing this because I've done it 1,000 times and I also have a lot of tutorials on it, so I will leave those on the screen and a link in the description box for you. So once I've added the face, I'm then adding the texture to the hair. So I'm just taking a blunt needle tool and I'm just dragging it across the clay. I've given her a little parting down the middle and I'm just dragging it to create strands of hair. So once you've added all the texture to the hair, this is what your chibi should look like. You can not add texture, that's completely up to you, but I just really love the way it looks. So the next thing to work on is Leia's famous buns. So you just want to take more of the same brown clay you used for the hair and roll out a medium snake. So you want to try and make the snake as even as possible so you can get your buns symmetrical when they're on the chibi. I find it kind of impossible and mine are always a little bit uneven, but just try your best and I'm sure you'll get there. Now it comes time to roll up the buns. So you want to take that snake you just made and roll it up into an oval shape. So to do this, basically you just want to take a little bit more clay into the center of the swirl so that you get an oval shape instead of like a round circular shape. So once you've got the shape you like, you just want to cut off the excess. I do this at a slight diagonal so it sits better on the bun. You want to repeat this for the other bun, trying to get it as symmetrical as possible. As I said, I kind of struggle with this, so just do your best. If it's not perfect, then you can always try again. So once you're happy with the shape of the buns, it's now time to attach them to the head. I wasn't paying attention when I filmed this obviously, so I'm very sorry this isn't in shot. I didn't use any securing method like liquid clay or anything like that because the clay I used was so soft I didn't need it, but of course you can use liquid clay or anything else you'd like. So once you've attached them to the head, you want to add some more texture just so they match the other hair that we've put on the chibi. So I'm using exactly the same technique with the same tool. I'm just dragging it across the clay to make it look like there are strands of hair. So this is what it should look like when you're finished. I realise now I forgot to add the eyelashes, but you can obviously do whatever face you want. I'm also going to be adding an eye screw after baking, so I'm just adding a hole, but if you're going to use an eye pin, you can obviously add it in now. So that's the end of the tutorial, and I really hope you enjoyed it. I think this is quite a simple charm, minus the buns, which can get a little bit frustrating. If you make your own Leia chibi, don't forget to tag me on Instagram, xoxRufus, and also use the hashtag xoxRufus. I love seeing them, and I also love reposting your work, so don't forget to do that. Also, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, and you can find all of my social media and my shop social media in the description box down below. If you'd like to subscribe, you can down below, and also if you'd like to see the last video I uploaded, you can click on the screen right now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye bye.